I want you to think for a moment about your own spiritual journey. Was following Jesus always easy? Did you ever have questions? Did you have doubts? How did you overcome them? Did you have any relational obstacles you needed to overcome in order to follow Jesus? Was there pressure put on you by your family or friends? Did you come from an overly strict religious family, a place where you felt like you were never good enough, never Christian enough? Were your parents good examples of what it looks like to follow Jesus? Or is there a lot of pain and confusion there? Or maybe you didn't grow up in a religious home. Maybe you were left on your own to find your own way. Or maybe your family and friends were opposed to religion and hated your interest in Christianity. What was it like for you to decide to follow Jesus if it meant losing some people you loved dearly? Were you a Christian in high school? Did people know it? Did you play sports? Did you stress over good grades? Did you party? Did you resist the temptations of the teenage years, or did you give in to them and maybe suffer some consequences? When it comes to ministering to the next generation, a lot of adults think, what do I know? What do I have that the next generation needs? I'm not qualified to lead anyone. Well, I'm here to tell you that you are more qualified than you think. You have exactly what the next generation needs. You know what it is like to overcome adversity and choose to follow Jesus. This is what the next generation needs. They don't simply need an expert, someone who has all the answers. They need someone in their lives who has persevered and found a reason to follow Jesus in the midst of doubts and personal failures. You know what it is like to have questions and to sin and to feel like a failure. And you know what it is like to press on by God's grace and cling to the one you believe holds the words of life. That is what the next generation needs. They need someone who understands what they're going through. They need somebody with empathy, and you have it. Empathy is the skill of being able to understand and even share in the feelings of another. And it is a skill. It isn't simply an inborn trait that some have and others don't. Sure, there may be some people that are more inclined to empathy. However, it is a skill all of us can develop, and it is an essential skill in teaching and leading a discipleship group. Having an empathetic leader has always been a good thing, but it is especially important now. Studies show that millennials and Gen Z respond extraordinarily well to a leader with empathy, but can shut down and disengage with a "I don't care how you feel" kind of leader. Whether you like this about the younger generations isn't the question. You may think this makes them soft or fragile. Maybe they are, or maybe they aren't. Either way, if you want to reach them, you need to reach them where they are. And to do that, you will need to cultivate your empathy. And here is the best thing you can do to develop the skill of empathy. Ask more questions than you make statements. A good leader or teacher starts with their students, not with the curriculum. What do the students in your group actually believe? And even more importantly, why do they believe it? You cannot make assumptions about what your group does or doesn't believe. You'll probably be surprised to learn what the people in your group actually believe or know. Be ready for a "you're supposed to know that" moment when you ask a question. And don't wear it all over your face like I just did when you're surprised at what someone doesn't know. You can't have real empathy if you don't know someone, and you only get to know someone by asking questions. When you invite students to share their stories, the what and the why of their beliefs and actions, you will understand them better and your empathy will grow. So practice this in your group. Now, our curriculum is built on asking questions and having a conversation, but practice asking questions before group, after group, and especially during the discussion that takes off. Be wise and be like Jesus. Often the proper response to a question is another question. So don't be too quick to give answers. Practice being a good questioner and a good listener. In doing this, you will know better what your group needs, and you will show them that you understand and care. One last idea. When cultivating empathy through questions and listening, be sure to leave room for mystery when dealing with big ideas and topics. What I mean here is don't oversimplify things. Now, there are a lot of good answers to the questions we all have about God, but not everything is easily understood. When you create an environment where people feel free to ask questions because you ask questions, inevitably they're going to ask a really hard question. And you're going to feel like you're on the hot seat. But don't feel like you have to neatly wrap up every conversation. Instead, saying, "That's a good question, I don't know," is much better than offering some cheap Sunday school answer to a deep question and then rushing the conversation on to something else because you don't know what else to say. When a student is wrestling with some profound and big ideas, rushing them along with simple answers gives them the sense that either is something wrong with them for not getting it so quickly, or something is wrong with Christianity. What are they hiding? Why can't I ask this question? Surely there's more to the story than this. Why are we moving on so fast from this topic? There's got to be more than what they're telling me. Now, you're going to feel the pressure to answer every question that comes up and respond to every statement made. You're going to feel the need to neatly wrap up everything, but don't do it. Trite, soundbite answers may make you as a leader feel good, but oversimplified answers to big questions breeds doubt, and it shows your group that you don't get it. You don't really understand what they're going through. All of the work you do to cultivate empathy can be lost in the dismissiveness of simple answers to big questions. Hopefully this is good news to you. Again, more than an expert, young adults need someone who understands them, someone who is safe for them to reveal their doubts to, ask their questions, and pursue the truth with. That is what they need, and that is what you can possess.